Governor Moino inaugurates ultra-modern industrial training fund office complex in Uyo. Resus Negative International Foundation inaugurates in Uyo. Plus, students of Joy Prime School visit NTUU, charges to take education in high esteem. Hello, welcome to NTUU News. My name is Francis Bassi. This broadcast is written on our Star Time channel 103, on our social media platform on YouTube and on Facebook. To the news. As Nigeria battles unemployment and poverty, it is believed that if the trend is not contained, insecurity and other social vices might overwhelm the country with increase in criminality. This resonated at the official inauguration of the Ultramodern Industrial Training Fund ITF Uyo Area Office Complex and Vocational Wing by Governor Moino. Wisdom Jacob has details.
The Industrial Training Fund ITF, in its continuous effort for Nigerians to acquire skills by providing the enabling infrastructure to enhance efficient and effective service delivery, undertook construction of projects in parts of the country, including the Uyo Area Office. Director General ITF Sir Joseph Ari says their determination to expand existing infrastructure is that Nigerians have become increasingly aware of importance of skills acquisition as pathway to sustainable livelihoods.
Without available infrastructure, the agenda of the President Tinubu administration, especially with respect to issues such as remodeling the economy to bring about growth and development through job creation, creation of agricultural hubs, and targeting higher GDP growth amongst others, which Mr. President outlined in his inaugural address, will not be easily realizable.
We appreciate our own partners in progress and recognize your support for our success and growth, because we know without you we will not be standing here today.
As you may know, our work as SME developers cannot be completed without ITF. ITF lays the foundation for SME development in Nigeria.
The governor, represented by Head of Service Elder Ifeonyi, while inaugurating the edifice, described ITF as a dependable partner in the industrialization drive of the state.
I acknowledge once again the invaluable contributions of the ITF to the human capacity development and empowerment of our teaming youth through numerous skills acquisition schemes with the accompanying starter packs thereafter.
The event also featured tour of the facility as well as cultural dances. In Uyo, Wisdom Jacob, NTA News.
Medical experts have advised women with negative blood group known as negative rhesus factor to take a medication immediately after childbirth, miscarriage or abortion to prevent frequent stillbirth in future. These facts came to the fore during the inauguration of Resus Negative Foundation International in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. John Paul Alumuna reports that most participants did not know what negative rhesus factor means.
Resus Negative Foundation International is a non-governmental organization committed to creating awareness about negative blood group known as negative rhesus factor to help the married couple reduce incidences of periodic stillbirths by women commonly attributed to family problems, witchcraft or spiritual attacks. A medical doctor who presented paper says people who have negative O, A or AB blood groups usually run into problems during pregnancy for women and blood transfusion for men. Hence, efforts should be made to enlighten the people about the medical condition to avoid what she called blood sensitization.
Rhesus factor on its own does not pose any health problem to the person, but its importance is during pregnancy. The only the problem that it could pose could be during transfusion for the male, but our great concern is for the female.
Advice that is be a program that one should tell them not to selfish about it. Whatever you will learn today, create another platform on your own and educate people so that we all enjoy life.
The international coordinator of the foundation, Dr. Victoria Umana, recalled that 22 years ago, she was informed that she had O negative blood group and the implications. Hence, she began working hard to enlighten and help others with the same condition. She explained that they have carried out awareness campaigns in the 31 local government areas of the state and will continue to enlighten the people across different states in Nigeria.
This problem that we're having in Akwa Ibom here, when people are rhesus negative and then probably losing their children, especially the women, they attribute it to witchcraft. My mother-in-law is a witch, my father-in-law is a witch. That has been the case. But I want to change the narrative and let people know what the cause of their problem is.
Proper knowledge from what we are doing. People are self-distressed of losing their babies after childbirth or before. And of course, the opportunity for them to become like barren throughout their lifetime have been minimized through our effort.
It will really help, especially those in the rural areas, because that is really our target. Some of them, they don't even know, they are not being sensitized or educated on this issue, and they are attaching this to witchcraft.
So many people are living in ignorance in today's world when it comes to this, especially the women, and the mothers, the grandmothers are tagged witchcrafty, obanje, this and that. I wish we can take it to the world because so many of us out there needs to know about it.
High points of the event were inauguration of the executive of the foundation and launching of its official website www.rnfi.org.ng for easy access to the foundation. In Uyo, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
And still on health, do you know that the World Health Organization attributes over 8 million deaths annually to mental health disorders? This, no doubt, calls for increased awareness about the nature of mental health disorder, the impact of stigma and discrimination on people suffering from mental health illnesses, their families and their available medical intervention. In this report, Obiai Otobo brings out medical opinions on why people should be concerned about good mental health habits.
The World Health Organization, WHO, says no fewer than 970 million people around the world struggle with mental illnesses, which include anxiety, depression, insomnia, dementia, and post-traumatic disorders. Experts say majority of these illnesses are triggered mainly by unsavory events such as accidents, chronic illness, emotional stress, among others.
A mental illness is like any other illness. It's like the hypertension we have, the malaria. It's just like that. The only difference is that this is an illness that is coming from the brain. So what do each and anybody suffering from a mental health disorder, what they need is a proper attention so that they can be able to open up and to be able to seek treatment on time.
The use of hard drugs and other substances can also affect the neurotransmitter that controls the normal function of the brain. This 25-year-old man falls under this category. His addiction to illegal substance has rendered him incapacitated and unproductive.
I have been in the prison too. Seriously, I was a bad criminal.
The man and other youths with more severe mental health conditions that require specialist help are constituting a nuisance in society. Although mental health disorder is not contagious, experts, however, say some mental illnesses tend to run in families, suggesting genetic roots. It can be passed from one generation to the next among persons in the same lineage.
We know that if we are prone to developing a mental illness because a parent has got a trait, the children can do their best to avoid stressful situations that can cause a breakdown. So that is a part that is possibly avoidable. Things that can, as much as possible, avoiding, we know our limits as individuals, trying to have enough time to rest and take a break when we are facing challenges.
I'm very particular about use of psychoactive substances, particularly in children and in adolescents, because their brain is still developing. So because of the fact that their brain is still developing, so any insult to the brain by use of psychoactive substances can put them at risk of having a mental disorder.
Although experts say some mental illnesses can be managed and treated, especially to enable the persons suffering from the disease function in work or social environment, shortage of health professionals and relevant equipment in the hospitals, including support for the patients, remain barriers to accessing mental health care.
Public health care is a social service everywhere in the world, without exception. So there's still government responsibility to ensure there's a huge amount of investment, subsidy, and funding of public health care facilities.
It can be treated very well, and when it is caught on time, when the treatment is sought after early, the repercussions can also be limited. So it's not just that it can be treated, the complications that can go with it can also be reduced.
Experts suggest healthy lifestyle, access to employment opportunities for the youth, consistent advocacy on drug abuse and alcohol misuse, among others, as strategies to address mental health problems in Nigeria. In Benin, Obehio Tuba Presai, NTA News.
And in education, students have been advised to take their studies seriously and continue to work hard to become responsible citizens in future. The General Manager NTOU, Alice Ube, gave the charge when students of Joy Prime School visited NTOU for an excursion. Correspondent report.
Students of Joy Prime School, Uyo, on arrival at NTA, were received by the Public Relations Officer on behalf of the General Manager of the station. The PRO of the station, Mfonobo Moffat, enlightened the students on the history of NTA and the functions of various departments of the station. He assured them that their visit will afford them the opportunity to know many things about television broadcasting. The students were taken to the News and Current Affairs Department and were taught the rudiments of news gathering and reporting. At the program studio, they were enlightened on the production processes, while at the Master's Control Room, the students were shown how the audio and video signals are received and transmitted to the mass audience at home. The team also visited the library, where they were shown how the program and commercials are scheduled for airing. The leader of the team, Gabriel Alep, commended the management of NTA for the opportunity to visit the station and urged them to continue the good works.
At Joy Primary Secondary School, we prepare our children for the future. We tell them that integrity matters. We ensure that there is creativity. We ensure that they are educated and they are diligent. And so to cap all these things that we've taught our children, we decided to bring them down to NTA, a practical aspect of it, and we brought them down here. And they've been very excited. The experiences you can see on their faces.
Don't just limit our students to the classroom setting, because the 21st century child is way beyond the classroom setting. We have to give them a well-versed life. That is why today we decided to bring them to NTA for an excursion. Why NTA, you may ask? We want them to know how the larger world out there is presented.
My experience in this beautiful place, NTA Channel 12, was really amazing. And I also thank the school authorities for bringing us here to learn more about news, types of news, the features of news. And
I learned that the NTA library is not like our school's library. They don't store books, they don't store uniforms or every other things. Instead, they store tapes and other records. And then I also learned something from the MCR room, that's the media control room.
I learned how news is being broadcasted. I learned some little current affairs, and I learned the meaning of news. It was a good experience. I saw how things are being done in NTA Uyo.
We took it all around the studio, saw the studio, how the place was formed to prevent the penetration of noise. And so we now learned that noise is not required there and it needs lighting.
Job Prime School Uyo is located around Pepsi Junction off Abak Road, Uyo, and is known for academic excellence and good morals. In Uyo, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
We'll pause here for some comments. I'll be back shortly.
Roseville Hotel. Come, feel the luxury of our contemporary hotel. We offer lodging and accommodation. Stay at our deluxe executive and luxury suite for your comfort. Experience extravagant dining and delicious meals by expert chef. Lounge at our exquisite VIP bar. Enjoy 24 hours power supply with free Wi-Fi services. Our security system is top-notch to ensure your safety. Ample parking space and laundry services available. The ambience is serene to make your stay memorable. We are located at number 1 Julius Badger Road off House of Assembly Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. For reservations, call 070-650-41139. Roseville Hotel, hospitality at its best.
Welcome back. Ibno community in Akwa Ibom State is one of the communities in the Nigerian coastline threatened by climate change, which has already been stressed by human activities, pollution, invasive species, and storms. Wisdom Jacob, who visited the area recently, reports that the major physical environmental impact is on the community is a rise in sea level.
Throughout human history, people have formed settlements along coastline, whether for food, livelihood, transport, recreation, or ambience. Human beings by default have always chosen to live where sea or ocean meets the land, and these coastal areas are recognized as zones subject to intensive human use, such as residential, port activities, fishing, culture, and oil exploration. Ibno local government area is one of such communities in Nigerian coastline known for these activities, and unfortunately is one of the areas highly vulnerable to both natural and human-induced hazards like coastal flooding, cyclones, storms, surges, erosion, and pollution. The increasing population growth in Ibno community, coupled with unemployment, low income levels, poor housing, and sanitary conditions have increased the vulnerability of the people dwelling in this coastal community. Many living in these coastal communities have to move upland regularly to escape being washed away by encroaching ocean, which is one of the impacts specific to coastal areas.
Environmental impact is zero. We cannot farm. Our fishermen are suffering because of oil pollution and nobody cares. They deprive us from going to sea to survive. That's our occupation in Ibno. We don't farm. Their oil doesn't allow our crops to grow. Even when they pollute the environment, they cannot even compensate.
It's not been going well with us because a lot of, even the oil itself has killed aquatic animals. Hence, we cannot get enough fish again. It's one of the impacts that has really impacted us.
The people, however, suggested measures to be taken to protect the area from the impact of rise in sea level.
Then the impact that we have here in the Atlantic Ocean is spoil a lot of things because of the oil spill that we also like to have, and the way the wave is coming. So we need embalmment in this place to embalm us so we can be able to live here successful. We need embalmment.
Now, is automatically number one is the sea. When
you get to the sea, on the high tide of it, you will see that the sea presently, the ocean presently is level. If you get to the beach, it has took so many houses, and if you come to this place, it have took so many houses.
The shore already has been encroached by the river, thereby not allowing the fishermen to have even where to park their boats. 2 schools that were built around here have been wiped away. No?
It is important to note that beaches along the Nigerian coastline are very susceptible to flooding due to low topography of the coastline. Wisdom Jacob, NTA News.
And in sports, Ayo DJ Makinde brings us update.
All is now set for the Toki Aka Scrabble Jubilee National Championship, scheduled to hold on Saturday in Abuja, as Green Jacket holder Ogene Karo Eja joins other elite players in the tournament with a total of 12 games en route podium finishes. In football, Super Eagles of Nigeria are determined to emerge winners of Group A with 2 more matches to go in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Nigeria take on Sierra Leone at the Samuel Kenyon Doe Stadium in Monrovia on Sunday and currently trail Guinea-Bissau by a point after a 1-0 win over Sao Tome and Principe on Wednesday to top Group A with 10 points from 5 matches. Away from Nigeria, the Premier League on Thursday revealed the fixture list for the 2023-2024 season, which gets underway Friday, August 11 till the weekend of May 19, 2024. Championship winners Burnley, coached by former Manchester City captain Vincent Kompany, will host defending champions Manchester City in the opening game of the campaign, with Chelsea welcoming Liverpool to Stamford Bridge, just as Tottenham Hotspur and Brentford face off in a London derby. Luton Town will play their first ever Premier League match against Brighton and Hove Albion on the opening Saturday of the season, while fellow promoted side Sheffield United welcome Crystal Palace to Bramall Lane. The curtain-raising weekend will then conclude with Manchester United hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers at Old Trafford. The first major derby of the season takes place on the weekend of September 23 when Arsenal face Tottenham Hotspur, with the reverse fixture taking place at the end of April. Last season's top 2, Arsenal and Manchester City, meet for the first time on the weekend of October 7, with the reverse fixture slated for the Etihad Stadium at the end of March. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
That is all we can take on the English segment. Emem Uyiben is here for news in translation. Bye for now.
Kara Stadium ete umoino aberufa kambi tie ufokutom Industrial Training Fund kuyo. Ebere ebore koto Resus Negative Foundation mekuyo. Ni ton fon wel ake Joy Prime ema nami sang edika ufokutom uswanetup NTA uyo. Akwa Ibom mmikomo aminkere ememunyeme yakikob memboksi ni emfenemi nante e wanake nditre unautom ye unana eboke wo mi sere nkwa ibanga unaukpeme ye brobrido ke ino akemidi wak atai tieti amiekero iko eketanga nanga adai wuru Akwa Ibom State ete umoino akebereke uforutom ekoto Industrial Training Fund kuyo. Wisdom Jacob akama yorombomi
Ku kama uforutom ediongete Industrial Training Fund adi san dikbe mumsion suborutom state kidenyen okoro uforutom do mikuyo adai wuru uforutom do kidenyen sa Josephary atangabo kubiere ni moinama adi dependan lutumutum nyong bom mempo ado kenta ado mbuni nyen eni shoy ba ngwanda ufon ubogotum ano mbono wo kedi dependa odu we mbono wo adai wuru kara stedemi adai wondu tumu kara ke sted el dai fion siena gada no kini ke bere ki tiero akabo ku fotum ITF ado ngwanda ufotum mediana ke mu kara stedemi kendutum usia ifia aka isu enam ya idion ki tieri namado ke mai ke bere ema sa ise mention siung boro siba ki tiero ndien ema